Hello and welcome to your Empowered Astrology forecast with yours truly, Sarah McCallum, the Cosmic Finder. And this is for the week of April the 3rd, 2023. So this week, the moon will be waxing for a majority of the week. Midweek, we will be celebrating a full moon in Libra. And then as we come off of the cusp of the moon's peak illumination, the moon will then begin to wane. So this full moon in Libra is basically the moon opposite the sun, right? So the moon in Libra opposite the sun in Aries. And the full moon is a beautiful time for release, a good time to let go or to shed. Also a beautiful time to celebrate. A lot of times we feel collectively a lot more energy around the full moon. It is much brighter at night. Oftentimes we may have a hard time sleeping. And so you could maybe dive into ritual around, the full moon. I mean, get outside at night while the moon is shining. Perhaps bring some of your crystals or gemstones out to be bathed in the moonlight and enjoy the potency of the illumination. So with Libra, we are thinking cooperation, collaboration, relationships in general, justice, fairness, balance, harmony. All of these themes may come up for us while the moon is full in the cardinal air sign of Libra. And Libra being an air sign means that we may feel more mentally active. It may be important to journal. It may be important to communicate, to have conversations with loved ones or friends, but we just may feel a bit more active in terms of the mental body. And while we're in this sun sign period of Aries, right, and we're really feeling into individuality and independence and self-awareness, the full moon in Libra is highlighting the importance of really understanding our relationship to the other in order to better understand our relationship to the self, right? It's almost like the more we deepen self-love and compassion for ourselves, the more we're able to extend out to others, and that enriches our relationships. So play around with some of these themes around the full moon and really pay attention to what it is in your life that feels harmonious or what it is in your life that feels out of balance, and then make adjustments. All right, now during this week, the moon is going to shift from Virgo into Libra, into Scorpio, and then finally into Sagittarius. So while the moon is in Virgo, which is an air sign, it would be important to tap into your financial wellness, maybe some sacred wealth practices, sit down with your partner and look at, your long-term financial goals. Anything that's detail-oriented feels a lot easier while the moon is in Virgo. And also just really generally grounding and centering yourself while the moon is in an earth sign. It may feel a little bit easier to ground while the moon is in Virgo. When the moon shifts into Libra and around this full moon, perhaps this is time to collaborate with another. Perhaps this is a good time to celebrate with friends or loved ones. Libra loves aesthetics and beauty. Maybe you could have a meal at your home with friends, or go out and experience like a movie or a museum, some beautiful art with loved ones or friends or colleagues. When the moon shifts into Scorpio, and as we're coming off that peak full moon period, tap into some of your healing practices, check in with your emotional body, see how it is that you're feeling, connect with water, take a bath. All of those things would be really beautiful ways to honor the Scorpio moon. And once the moon shifts into Sagittarius, fire sign energy, this is energy that you can feel motivated around and inspired to work with. So you can dive into some studies or topics that you've been wanting to pursue, or perhaps move your body in a way that feels really expansive, really open-minded type of energy. So this week, Mercury will be creating a sextile to Mars on April 7th. And, Mercury and Mars are like the way we bring our thoughts into form and the way that we take action. So we may find that our mind is really aligned with our sense of drive. So it's like we know what we want in the mind, we can see what it is that we are manifesting, and then we're able to very easily take action in a way that blends with what we have envisioned. This can be very motivating energy to work with. And then the sun is going to conjoin Chiron this week, and this may feel like, as we recognize our own wounding or our own pain, and we work with that and we dive deeper into that realm, we are able to see more clearly what it is that we're here to do, what our basic purpose is in this lifetime. So that feels really juicy and potent, especially around Aries energy and kind of that self-awareness piece. So go ahead and dive into some of those aspects of Chiron and see what types of downloads you receive in terms of your basic purpose, your sense of strength and will. And then lastly, Mercury is going to shift into Taurus this week on the 3rd, so right at the beginning of the week. And Mercury moving out of Aries into Taurus is just going to feel like perhaps mentally we put on the brakes a little bit. Perhaps we can weave aspects of ritual into our daily life to inspire our thought processes. Maybe there's like a mantra calling out to us that we want to be reciting that helps us to ground and connect with Mother Earth. But it may feel just also like our communication style is a bit more slow, smooth, and steady, and perhaps even a little bit more sensual. So I also was able to pull a card for you all for this week out of the Shaman's Dream Oracle, the beautiful deck I often work with by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Barron-Reed. And the card that came through is Winter's Dream, which is representative of a gestation period. And I like this card for this week, especially in regards to Mercury moving into Taurus, but even a little bit with like that Sun conjunct Chiron energy. Because while we're in the midst of Aries season and everything's about taking action and inspiration and motivation, this card is actually saying, sit with the intuitive guidance you're receiving. Like, pay attention to what it is you desire. Recognize the seed that's been planted, but allow that seed the time it needs to grow, to feel nourished, and to really pay attention to that sense of like steady progress, really to pull away from hurrying or rushing and just witnessing the beauty and being present to that moment of, you know, like spring, like something that's about to blossom, that's about to bloom, and settling in and slowing down. So again, while we're in the hustle and bustle of Aries energy and springtime energy, for this week in particular, it would be wise to take things slowly and to enjoy the present moment, and to not move too far ahead, or to not focus too much in the future. So I hope that that card brought you a little bit of insight to what this week holds for you. And enjoy your week. Enjoy some of the slow and steady energy of Mercury moving into Taurus. And I'll be on to talk with you all again very soon.